Are we live? Are we back?
Are we live? Are we back?
Alright, I believe we are. So, let's get started. I know this has taken such a long time, you guys. I know a lot of internet issues made this stream delay by a whole hour. But, we never give up. We get back. And today, we are reviewing some of my old, some of my weird, some of my first UI designs I ever built. This is going to be a fun video. And hopefully, it's not going to be too bad. So let's just begin. Alright, so today we are looking at some of the very first UI designs I ever made. Wow. Okay, some context before we begin this whole thing. The very first design that we look at today is something that I had just started UI design and web development for that matter, and I was so ambitious, so ambitious. I wanted to have it all. I wanted to basically make the best site, and guess what? I didn't. Spoiler alert, I didn't. So I wanted to make this huge site, even if just a prototype of a huge site. It's quite international, it's quite grand, and this is what I came up with, much to my surprise, much to my disgust, much to my embarrassment. Now this is what I came up with. We are present worldwide. I know this looks weird and it's just so all over the place. Feel free to add your comments. Today we'll just have a lot of fun because this is just me. It's trying to show that there is a lot of I'm going to try to break it down now as a viewer. This is just me trying to show you that this is a prototype of a website. I know this does not look like a website, but it is my first prototype. Such a weird design. It's trying to tell you that this brand is present worldwide, and it's trying to give you all of these maps of the world, which looking back is a terrible decision for a background, because world maps have all sorts of colors that may or may not work together. A weird combination. Comment down below, let me know what you think in the live chat. We'll have a lot of fun today. I've got so many embarrassing UI designs planned that I have to show you guys. Oh wait, my camera is not working. Shit. Nice. Alright, so we're trying out a new PC setup today because our internet kept on going with the last one. So, anyways, this is my very first UI design that I ever built. It's quite weird. I don't even know what it is at this point. This is the grand reveal of the very first very weird UI design that I built. I was trying to show that this website is present worldwide, and looking back, the flags of different worlds are terrible decisions as backgrounds because they don't have any sense of color. Where do I start? I don't know where to start anymore. Also, why is there a world map here? I'm just trying to show that this site is present worldwide, but I have no idea why there is such a huge world map right here. I have no idea. Do you guys, can you guys make any sense of it? Let me know in the chat, because I am so disgusted by this, and I'm viewing this for the first time in a very long time. This is me 4 years ago. Not that long ago, I know, but this is quite weird. Also, check out this button. It's just gray and so random. Anyways, moving on. Next, I decided to make a slider, and this just an image carousel, and I started designing the images for that. This looks quite decent compared to the last one, considering this is my second attempt at anything UI design. This is a random image from Undraw, great resource, by the way. I don't use it anymore because I never used it for a long while, but it's just this is just so bad looking back now, because there is no sense of sizing, there is no sense of having any primary font, secondary font. This looks so bad. I don't even want to get started on how bad it actually looks. Just this is just one of those weird UIs that you just do one day and it's just staying there. I don't know how to react to it anymore. Anyways, moving on. We have a lot of interesting things today. I have so many things to show you. Let me know what you think about these UIs, by the way. This is again a random image from Unsplash. It's quite horrifying because if I was choosing green, I should have gone with this one. I don't know why I went with this. Welly Freelancer says, right now we think that our first designs were very bad, but these designs are our base. That is true, but this is a fun video. This is just me reacting to some of the weird stuff that I've done. And I'm good with it, but it is quite weird to look back now. This looks decent. I don't know what to say anymore. This just looks decent. So what more could you ask for? I mean, this is the first UI design. This, on the other hand, is quite a big font size. It's a weird, horrific first time accident. Again, my favorite part is this gallery. It just has these random ass images that I just imported from Unsplash and Undraw and Pexels and all of these wonderful sites that I found. And what is this organization? I mean, I get that I was trying to create some sort of organization here, but it is horrifyingly bad. If you think it is a weird attempt, just comment down below. Now we go to my next adventure in the world of UI design. This is me designing cards. Again, I had no sense. Something that you need to know right here is I had no sense of color. And when I say no, I mean absolutely zero sense of color in the beginning. I did not know what to do with colors at all. So I just found the most random color that I could and just put something right there. So I just took a light blue. For some reason, I placed it and then these are just some random lorem ipsum cards. It's not that deep. And now we go to the first proper site that I ever made. You're going to see that it's just this is a weird one. So weird. Look at the colors. Like this is the first actual site I ever built, and look at the colors on this one. Before I even get into anything, like I went to a random color palette generator and I found these disgusting color palettes and just went along with them. So we're left with this weird website that just isn't even that special. Again, quite boring. Not the most interesting thing. Let me know what you think. It's just one of those things that you look back at and think, okay, this happened. Why are most of my fonts in the font family Roboto Slab? I don't know. Maybe it was an obsession with Roboto Slab for some reason. Why? I don't know. Maybe because it had to do with Roboto, but I don't know why this looks the way it does. I don't know why these buttons are light blue in front of white. I still don't know, and I don't think I ever will. So again, this is just one of those weird designs that you just look at and think, okay, this happened. Next, we have quite the glorious disaster. This is the first chat app I ever built, and it's such a funny one because I was trying to copy Instagram vibes, and meanwhile I gave it a pink background. I don't know why I did that. Anything would be better than pink, but hey, we start from somewhere. So at this point I was just trying to show off my brilliant use of weird colors, but a lot of lorem ipsum text and a lot of really weird fonts. Again, I tried to make it responsive, but it just ended up looking like a really long passage, and that was the end of it. The next one we have is actually a funny, weird one. So I made this design a couple of days ago, and no, I don't have a really terrible sense of design anymore, but I made this design a couple of days ago, and then I decided to give it a dark mode. It sort of looked like this. Still, it looked fine, not the worst thing in the world, but then I decided I'm going to give it a terrible contrast. I'm going to make the worst version of this site possible, and this is just a couple of days ago, you guys. So I ended up building this beauty. How do you react to this? Let me know what you think about this one. It's one of those, it really looks like I'm colorblind in this one, and it was super intentional. This is actually one of the props for the How to Kill Your UI Designs video. It's somewhere on the channel, you can find it, but it's again a weird UI design, just one of those things you look at and think, okay, an old one, but I don't make designs like this anymore. Next we have my oldest first website that I ever programmed. So all of these were just UI designs in the beginning, and this is the first website that I coded, so I'm pretty proud of it. The whole process. Again, there is no sense of spacing anywhere, absolutely. Just huge text and then small back again and then huge back again. I don't even know where I found this image. I don't know where this came from. It could be copyrighted for all I know. I don't even know where this image came from at this point, but this video involves a lot of me just shaking my head in pure undecision, weird confusion. This actually looks like you're screaming at someone, just giving them large pieces of text in this weird Happy Monkey font. It's literally called Happy Monkey, and I thought it'd be a good idea to use it for the full description. A weird one, but what are you going to do? Next, I just added this whole Google form. Again, I made this for some friends back in the day, and they wanted to have a Google Forms embed over here, and this was my super cool UI designer ways of making things nice. It's looking back, it just looks weird. All I can say is, looking back, it just looks like one of those weird things I once made, and now I'm not proud of it anymore. Next is actually something that looks quite nice. You might like it. I have a suspicion you might. This is the very first app I ever designed. It's a weird one. It doesn't have a lot of sense of style, but in my defense, there is a lot of good colors on this one. So I think there's some saving to this design. So you kind of see the gradual improvement. The colors are actually quite nice on this one, like the top bar. I'm happy with the way this looks now, and also this text is quite large. It does not have any sense of white space, but it's not as terrible as it could have been, and it uses a lot of colors. So I think that saves this design for the most part. It could have definitely gone worse. As much as we like to say it could have gone better, it could definitely have gone worse, and it didn't. So this is I took all of these from Iconify the plugin, and I didn't even look at licenses back in the day. You should look at licenses, by the way, and just put all of the images that I could find. And there isn't even like these two are the same cows. Why did I ever place two different illustrations for the same cow? I think these are different shades of blue, aren't they? AOE8FF. I think so. These are completely different. No, these are the same. Anyways, there's just no sense of color left with it. These are emoji images, and they didn't scale quite well, so I was quite mad at that. But anyways, this is one of those weird things that I just did, and again, there is no sense of sizing at all. Just the title and the description are the same exact font size, which not my most proudest work, but it did happen. I had no sense of overflows of text whatsoever, so it just went down, straight down. Like, I could have made it smaller back in the day, or just maybe added 3 dots to just increase, expand text, but this is just what it is, and I'm not even going to get into it. And then that's it. This looks more like a presentation more than anything. It just looks like a big old weird PowerPoint instead of an app. But we do what we do, so I'm good with it. Alright, these next ones I'm actually quite proud of. I actually liked the way they looked. This is the first logo I've ever made, and it had 4 different variations, and here we go. So this is the first ever logo that I ever made. It had a lot of water visual kind of themes. It had waves from the Get Waves plugin that I used just yesterday, and it had 2 different variations. I didn't know you could scale these images up and down, so I just realized I had made it too small because I had no idea of the font sizes. I just literally made a 100 by 100 small grid, and then just decided to make it one more time. So it's just this really weird looking logo, but again, this isn't good as a logo, but as a graphic, I'm not completely mad, which is also very weird. This is the second variation. It was called Studio Pi, the place I built this UI this logo for. This comet one is my favorite. It has these falling shooting comets, and again, these images are the only things saving this UI design at its very core, because I had no other sense at that point, you guys. These images come from Iconify plugin in Figma. You can search for it, get it. It's actually quite good if you're a beginner, and it's just actually quite nice if you want to get into it. Alright, this next one is just pi in front of all of the numbers of pi, just sort of never ending, and it's just sitting there. What are you gonna do? This was the first presentation sort of thing I ever did, where I was trying to explain what it was, and it just sits there now, bold, simplistic, natural, attractive. Why am I always using the font Roboto in all of these designs? I don't know. Blog site I ever made, and it's quite embarrassing at its biggest part, because it just has these giant groups of texts, and again, undraw images one more time. I just changed these colors and thought of myself as a really cool hacker, and then that was that. Just a huge blob of text. Such a boring site. By far, such a boring site. And then I did the second page as well, which was this actually looks quite nice. This actually has a few redeeming elements. I'm not going to blame it indecisively, but again, these were some placeholders and stuff. But again, this is not my finest work. I had no idea what font size to use, and we see more of the font Happy Monkey. I liked this font back in the day because it was just weird and out there, and now I haven't used it for the longest time anymore. Let me know in the comments. I might end up using it once again. I might make up something weird one more time. And this is the admin panel for the blog. It was the way it was supposed to be, just this weird blog panel page that was just sitting there. Again, it had placeholders, no actual text, and usually this isn't ideal for UI designs, but it is what it is. A lot of you'll notice a lot of this is just me saying it is what it is, but what can I say? It is what it is. The next one is the best thing you will ever see today. This is the very first. Hold on, this is an accident. Alright, this is fine. This is the very first variation of the Devfasttt, which is my UI design agency at this point website. This was the very first variation. It looks so weird. I wanted to make it innovative, and it just ended up looking like this weird thing. Let me know what you think about this one. This is back in the day we used to have this weird fast faster one logo, because this had fast in it and this had fast in it, so I just thought it'd be a cool font. And this used to be the initial logo, like such a weird thing to do. This used to be the old logo, and this used to be the different shapes that I use in the background. It's such a weird one to look at. Like it's not even that cool. Why would I ever think of like making it? I mean, obviously this was a step, but again, a weird UI design. So what are you going to do? Let me know what you think about this one in the comments, you guys. It's so weird to look at it now and think back to all of the weird things we did. Also, check out the fonts on this one. It has Poppins all the way, and I started using Poppins because I saw some other YouTubers say that Poppins was their favorite font, and then as I started using it, I started to realize that it was not the perfect font. It had a lot of spacing, font, text kerning sort of issues, and again, not the best font, not the worst one either. I'm good with it, but this is again one of the funny ones. Alright, this next one is actually a tree I made for some reason, an illustration of some sort. I was planning on this actually looks quite nice, but I was planning on sort of duplicating it and mirroring it, and then it would become this weird border sort of thing. I actually like this little cloud in the bottom. I don't know if I copied it from somewhere or just got this idea from somewhere. Just let me know what you think about this one. Like this looks quite nice. This is still a little bit usable. I don't know how I ended up making it, but I did. This next one is actually quite pretty. It's an honorable mention, and the only reason I'm bringing this up today is because I don't know when I built this. I have no memory of it whatsoever. So I just went on Unsplash, took these images, removed their backgrounds, and came up with this logo. It had Peter's pasta written in it, and it's just one of those weird things that you just look back at now. Like, look at it. It's funny. It's cute. I like it. It's funny. It's extremely weird. Its font colors are, I don't even know what they're. I think they're a fill of this image, this pasta image. I think they are a fill of this. But again, one of the weird UIs that I ever did. And again, you see these variations come to life now. I think these are just filters, these basic image filters. Change the exposure, saturation, and this is a really cool value if you want to experiment around as a UI designer. It lets you change the colors of specific images and just play around with it. You'll have a lot of fun. I actually am quite proud of it. This was one of my first good looking real UI designs that I made, like this whole splash effect and stuff. Again, this isn't a complete design. We might complete it at some point, but we might not. It's one of those ones that you just look at and you think it's pretty, it's beautiful, it's nice. I am cool with it. I like it. I absolutely like it. Alright, this next one is one that I actually ended up presenting to a real business, and not business, just a NGO kind of thing. And the guy who I presented it to was actually super mean about it, and looking back, maybe it wasn't the perfect. They were trying to replace the chat, basic WhatsApp chat that they had, and this is something I came up with. Looking back at it from a designer's point of view, you can see that there's just a lot of random colors in it. Let's just get to the comments for a moment. Dharm Teja says you can make a list of the best plugins that designers must use. You know what? I will make a video on it. How about that? Like, let's just make a full video, like the animated ones that I do on this channel. How about that? I'll make the next video on plugins. I'll do that. Bhuvan says, hi, this is just to ask advice. Do you have anything about CCBP skill training program? I am a first year. Please guide me through it. Bhuvan, this is out of my field of expertise. I'm not really sure on what you should do at that. I have no idea. I'm not going to go to a point of I'm God, I know everything. I don't truly know. But again, there is a lot of wonderful opportunities in UI and web design if you actually invest yourself into it. I'll leave it at that. For some reason, I thought it was a good idea to, and this is what's funny about it. For some reason, I thought it was a good idea to just have all of these random colors and just maybe having random colors would make it really fun. And I'll just get into why this I use this font. This is called Rosa 1, and it's a weird font. The only reason I use this font is because when you type Hindi in Rosa 1 font, which is my mother tongue, it comes out looking really pretty. So if you want to use Hindi at all, Rosa 1 is the font I definitely recommend. And when I thought I could use Hindi with it and it looked so pretty, I thought I'd just use English with it as well. So this is just me, one of those weird, embarrassing situations. Dharm Teja says, yes, that can be very useful, especially when we search for them a lot of the times. Great, that is nice. In fact, we'll have it out by this next week. We'll just do it before 10th. We'll do it by 10th September. New plugins video coming out by 10th September. Join the Discord group, you guys. The link is in the description. The first link in the description. You'll find it right there. Assets and Launch Your Own Portfolio Masterclass is also coming up really soon. Join it. You can have your own suggestions and stuff. Alright, let's just get into the next one. We've gotten over to that, I think. And that is it. This is one that I actually like. This was just teaching chapters and it was a learning kind of app. A weird one, but this is the first time I started using gradients, like linear gradients for random objects, and this ended up being a good thing. Like I like actually the way this looks. It's quite traditional, it's quite nice, and it's just yellow to orange red gradients that actually look good at the very end. Alright, this is about it on the weird random designs I made. It probably isn't the most weird, crazy thing that you could find on the internet, but I was sane enough to make things like this. You know what, let's just do this rapid fire round. If there's anything you guys want me to review or see, just put it in the comments for this one and we'll just get to it, because today's weird stream reaction video ended up pretty quickly. If there's anything, just comment down below and we'll just take a look at that. And this has been a lot of fun, you guys. It's truly been one of those weird videos which I had to make. It was a requested video. Again, these are designs to basically show the fact that no one is perfect, and when you're making these UI designs, you are going to have days where stuff you make looks sort of like this, but again, we just dust off our hands and continue on. I hate to go today. This has been one nice live stream. Tomorrow we are going to be back at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time with a really special effect. It's one of the best effects you're ever going to make in UI design. It is already scheduled on this channel, so if you go to the live page, you can find it already. And tomorrow is going to be another fun stream. Hopefully you had a little bit of fun here, had a laugh or two. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for watching this weird, embarrassing, but definitely nice video. Thank you. Alright, bye.